Hello everyone. In today's video tutorial we are going to work with charts. So we shall learn how we can insert charts in a given presentation file and insert or enter data the way we want it to be displayed in our presentation file. So to follow this tutorial, you're going to insert a new slide, and preferably you can work with the title and content slide. Charts help us to go ahead and represent our data graphically. So let's begin by looking at how we can represent our data graphically. So we have two ways to do that. One, we can use this button that is found in this placeholder, or you can go to the Insert tab and work with this chart button. So let's use this option we have inside our placeholder. So we shall click the Insert Chart button. So when you click on it, this dialog box is displayed just as we can see on the screen. So from this dialog box, we can see a number of different charts that we can decide to insert in our slide. However, it is now upon you to choose which chart you want to work with. So this area gives you the overview of the different types of charts. For instance, if you say you want to work with column, then these are the column charts. Then the line charts can be accessed. Then we have the pie charts. Then we have bar charts and these others, as we can see on our screen. So in this tutorial, we would like to work with the column chart. Now at the moment, we do not have any data that we are going to use to enter in our chart, but we shall edit our chart by placing some contents, as we shall see. So we shall choose one of the charts that are available from this column chart. So I'll just click on this column chart, then I say OK. So when we click on OK, the chart will be inserted, as we can see from our presentation file. And at the same time, when you click to insert, then you also have an Excel file that is automatically created. So now let's begin by looking at this Excel file. So from this Excel file, we have the category 1. Then from category 1, we have series 1, which is 4.3. Then series 2, which is 2.4. Then series 3, which is 2. So series 1 is this bar that we see. Then this is series 2. Then this is series 3. Assuming we don't want these series, so what do? We shall look at that. So where we see category, we can now decide to edit the categories and place that data we want to appear in our PowerPoint. So let's start by editing this Excel file. You have to remember that what we edit from this Excel file will always be reflected from the chart within the presentation file. So I will call this cell, I will give it names. So under this column for names, where we see category 1, I will click there. Then I change from category 1, I call it Simon. So that is the first name under names. Then series 1, we are going to change and we call it amount. So we put amount. Then we can also work with series 2. So we shall say additional. Then from names column, let's now try to edit these other categories. So category 2, we are changing it to Benedict. Then category 3, we are calling this one Isaac. And then the last one here, we are calling it Michael. So after you have inserted all the data, then we shall now go to amount. How much for Simon? So we can say 10,000. Then for Benedict, we can say 20,000. Then for Isaac, we can say 15,000. Then when it comes to Michael, we shall give him 35,000. So whatever we are doing here is already being reflected from our chart that we have inserted in the presentation file. Even where we had categories, now we can, where we had the series, now we can see they are replaced by amount, which is this one, then additional, which is this one. So right now, these bars are representing the figures that we have inside here. Then now we are left with that one for Michael. Now when I click under this cell, in this cell for additional, then we shall be in position to see the bar reflecting the amount, which is 35,000 for Michael. So if we add some contents under this column for additional, then we shall also have some other series inserted in our graph. So let's say additional for Simon 15,000. Then, so when I click in this cell, we can see this series has already been added. So for Benedict, we are going to say 10,000. Then for Isaac, we are going to say 20,000. Then for Michael, I will just say 10,000. So when I click aside, then we shall see that we have created or we have edited our chart from this Excel file. Now, if we don't want this 3, what do? We can decide to delete it. So if we want to add more series, then you just come below here, click, hold, and then move to that direction. Then you will have another series column created. Assuming I want to add another name just below here, I will not click there. What I will do is to first of all work with this Resize Chart so that we define the range. So after, we can now come here and add another individual, for instance Henry. So when we add Henry, then the name will be added just below here. So that means that if you go ahead and enter some contents, for instance let's say 1000, then here we say 2000. So you will see that these ones are also reflected in your chart. So that's how you can edit the data and you create the chart in your presentation file. Now, what will happen if we don't want this? So what we shall do is to select these columns, then we right click and go to delete. Then we shall say we don't want this table column, so we click on delete. Then this dialog box will come. We shall say okay, because for us we are interested on only the contents that we have inside this presentation file. We are done with editing our chart, so we can now close this spreadsheet or Excel file, and we have our chart created. So from this chart you can decide to go ahead and change its layout. So the chart layouts are just below, just here where we see the chart layouts group. There are a number of them, so you can decide on which one you would like to work with. For instance, if this is what you want, then you click and the chart will just be reflected as that very type of chart layout you have selected. Then you can also change the chart styles from this area, and there are a number of styles that you can decide to work with. For instance, if you could try out these ones below, you just click, then that style will be applied to the chart that you have created. Then also, if you feel you don't want to work with the column chart, then you can go ahead and change the chart type. So when you click on that button, you'll have this dialog box where you can now decide on which chart type you want to work with. If you want to work with the bar graphs, then you will just click and you will be in position to choose which type you want to work with. If it is the pie charts, then you select the type you want and then it will be inserted. For instance, if you click on this and you say OK, then that is what will be displayed inside your slide. There are a lot of things that you can do to the charts. For instance, while working with the layout tab, you have these options where you can change the chart title, where you can change the legend, where you can work with the data labels. So you can just keep on trying to practicing working with these different charts in your presentation file. Hope you found this video tutorial helpful to you. That's it for now. See you in our next tutorial.